This episode is brought to you by Woolly Mitts, the UK's premier subscription box for fingerless gloves. Every month, Woolly Mitts delivers a brand new pair of stylish artisan-crafted fingerless gloves straight to your door. Perfect for drinking overpriced beer, typing angry tweets about hop character, or playing the banjo in a disused church-turned-coffee roastery. Made from the finest ethically sheared alpaca wool and dyed in colours like charred aubergine, delusioned barista and smoked oak sadness, these gloves are hand-stitched by people who definitely listen to brands you've never heard of. Subscribers also get access to the Mitt Club, an exclusive online community for fingerless glove enthusiasts, niche hand warmth influencers and people who think sleeves are a government conspiracy. So go on, be bold, be brash, be slightly colder than necessary. Visit woollymitts.co.uk/beardedbeerpod and use code MITFITS20 for 20% off your first box. Woolly Mitts, because your fingers deserve freedom and mild frostbite.
Hello, it's me, G. Finally getting round to doing the podcast. I have had an absolute motherfucker of a month at work. 12, 13-hour days, back-to-back meetings, emails bouncing off my skull like dodgeballs, and enough passive-aggressive team messages to power a small moon. I needed a break, a palate cleanser, a hard reset. So, it's Sunday, and I've grabbed my headphones, my notes, and a couple of cans of liquid therapy, and I've hit record. So welcome back to the podcast, yay! But before we get to the meat of today's episode, and yes, pun fully intended, I've got some fairly surreal personal news to share. And no, I'm not drunk. Not yet. I can officially confirm that I've been selected as the new host of BBC's MasterChef. I know, absolutely mental. Apparently, after what I can only assume was a nationwide talent drought, the producers stumbled across my stuff online and thought, yeah, he'll do. He hasn't been cancelled yet. He's moderately coherent, and he looks like he might own a clean shirt. So here we are. I met all the key criteria. I can probably behave in front of and behind the cameras. I've yet to post anything overly racist, sexist, or wildly libelous that we know of. And I've got what was generally described as a trustworthy sort of face. So I've promised to delete any problematic tweets the moment they're found by some bored 19-year-old doing a forensic deep dive into my digital past. And honestly, it's a huge honour. I'll be stepping into the role with grace, humility and smugness. And it richly deserves that, I think. I've already started practicing my "that is a MasterChef dish" delivery in the mirror. If Greg Wallace can do it while yelling at soufflés and spooning curry like it's the second coming, I reckon I've got a shot. So yeah, MasterChef, me, it's happening. God help the nation's aspiring chefs and pray for whoever's editing my outtakes. Also, while we're doing the life updates, I went to see Amelia Bayler's new show and it's an absolute riot. She's smart, she's funny, and the show's just gloriously unhinged. Like being hit in the face by a fridge magnet. I followed that up with Kate Hammer same week, and again, absolutely brilliant. It's like watching your anxious friend spiral into chaos while you cheer her on from a safe emotional distance. 5 stars. Oh, and I also did a lovely wee day trip to Dunblane, which was far less unhinged, but deeply therapeutic. A sort of calm, leafy antidote to my usual screaming into the void vibe. The beer was cold, the food was amazing, and nobody tried to pitch me an NFT. 10 out of 10. Now that the life updates are done, let's dive into the beers I've been necking in a state of heat stroke, poor decision making, and generally unprofessional burnout. No spoilers, but some of them taste like joy, and some taste like turnip-scented despair. Let's go! So as I mentioned, I have had one motherfucker of a month at work. 12, 13-hour days. So the first beer of the month, I gave myself an Axiom of Choice IPA from those mad scallies from Asvex. It was nudging my mud bean like you would not believe, and I was totally ready for a couple of days off, and that was 4.75 on Untapped. Another frustrating week at work with people chinning me off, so I went with what the hell does this say? Gone fishing bass jumping, courtesy of Phantom Brewco's double IPA division. Looks like Barocca dissolved in stale piss, so naturally it's right up my street. And tastes like angina. A solid 4.75 again on Untapped. A double hazy IPA that tastes a bit weak. Yeah. I was really disappointed with Even More Faith from Northern Monk. Not up to their usual high standards, I'm afraid, and that was a lowly 3.5. Oh. More like the thing is Magnify Brewing's double dry hopped Imperial IPA, Rock Me Dr. Sayek. And a monkey in the can. A lovely hoppy brick to the front teeth, but with a tangy aftertaste. Mucho legio, I've written down here. And that was a 5 out of 5. I ended that night with Pinball double dry hopped IPA from Brewdog. I was half cut and I was recording the podcast. Unedited. I don't know how many people listened to it last month, but yeah, I'll try to do better this month. So that wee gem saw me through the night. It was a nice wee beer, and that was 4.25. Making up for the alcohol-free fest at a party last night with Sierra Nevada's Atomic Torpedo Imperial IPA, £11.20's worth of 9.2 APV, flicked me right in the scrotum with a paddle off an inflatable dinghy. Oof. 4.75. Had to pay a visit to Salthorse on my way to point and laugh at Amelia Bayler, and this golden West Coast IPA from Mondo Brewing is a delicate wee number. It was named Dennis Hopper. It was bloody lovely, unlike Dennis's performance in that Super Mario Brothers movie. Back again to Mortal for a new beer, another Sierra Nevada. It was called Big Little Thing, a wee IPA. Smashing chewy number, and at 9.5% ABV. Glad it was served in a third, really, because it tasted like it was 9.5%. It was like it was aged in a garage next to a leaky washing machine. Perfect. That was 4.5. So aside from being judged by an avatar, Octa Barcelona IPA from Garage Beer Company is a blinder. Loved the David Bowie inspired logo and the kinky black ring pull. Badass name, badass label, and a badass IPA. Mechanized Doom is a grapefruit laced donkey punch and is tastier than a monkey in a knife fight. It was 4.5 and Untapped. Next up, a Verdant Brew, you say? Go on then. This pale ale tastes like boiled turnip and smells like my office after this long sweaty week. Luckily, I'm into that shit, so joke's on you. And thus, I also liked Rustling Substance. What a name. 4.25. Sizzler of a day in Alva, and the abomination that was the Alva Games. So I've fucking deserved this double dry hopped hazy IPA from Atom Beers. It was 29 degrees, and I want to pour Macroevolution over my head, but it went down my throat instead. Holy balls, it was refreshing, with a wee bit of lemon pledge about it. Get in. 5 out of 5 for that bastard. So this label gave me an absolute boner. What the hell is that brewery called? I'm going to have to zoom in on my notes. It's called Buratatum or something like that. Someone's going to correct me. Yeah. They gave us a murky, heavily hopped, double dry hopped IPA that smelled and tasted like wet cat food. So naturally, Newfound Love was a winner. And it was 5 out of 5 for that bugger too. It was late, and I was trying to create lyric videos for the EP that I'd spent the best part of 18 months creating. So Hot Butcher have lent me a lovely wee hand with the remarkable double IPA Lord Octopus. It's nutty and strong, and it helped me keep my heat with my 9-year-old MacBook. It's fucking dying. It really is. I'm astounded every month that I'm able to record and put out this bloody podcast and this hunk of shit. But that was 5 out of 5 as well. Awesome. So, still claggy boss time, and I treated myself to a double IPA from Two Flints. It cooled me down lovely, and it helped me celebrate the Scarsworn EP being available on iTunes. Woo! Parallel 3 is lovely, wet, and dry at the same time. Go figure. What a cracking beer. Whilst we're at it, there isn't a Trauma Olympics, so calm the fuck down. More on that coming in a Friday rant, that's for sure. 4.75. So hitting harder than Hong Kong Fooey and a coked up bender is First with Jack Brew's double dry hopped double IPA Karate Gear. Poured great, looks spiffing, and tasted like angel jizz. Just don't look at his bird. That was a 5 out of 5. Awesome. Value for money klaxon going off with this kind of creepy double IPA from Dank House Brews. It was the beer equivalent of a skateboard to the back of the head, really. Massive burst of flavour. You see some stars, and then it subsides into something lovely and mellow, like a coma. Looking at you, Mikey D. 5 out of 5. 2 all beer, IPA on tap, and it was a fandabidozy. Totally worth the hike up to old Ma Peggerty's. 4.75. Oh, yeah, Mortal. They had Sierra Nevada Torpedo Extra IPA on tap. Yeah, I got fucked up. And it was a 5 out of 5. Lastly, for this week, I cannot believe that I've not had Arbor Ale's Shangri-La Session IPA, considering my filthy sex affair with them. Tastes like sweat, shame, and that Coldplay meme that everybody's forgotten about now. And that was 4.5 and Untapped. So after melting like Emil Antonowski in the Waverley Bar in Edinburgh, I sucked down a Sierra Nevada Hot Tropical IPA. It was a middle of the road fare. It tasted fine, and it would have been a great session beer, so I'm going to look for it again in the future. And that was 4.0 right in the nose. Now, with a label that reminds me of Sepultura's first few releases, Tired Hand Brewing's IPA Alien Church is an inescapable mosh pit of a beer. The beer version of that time I got stuck in the pit at a municipal waste show. Got my fucking arse kicked. It was horrible. It really was. It was so horrible. I had a good time though. But that was 5 out of 5. A really short and to the point review next. Baron Brewing's The Handsome Prince Triple IPA. It's ever so good. That's all you need to know. 5 out of 5. So it finally made it to Sheep in Both Clothing's brewery in Dunblane, and it was a rather muggy day. So I kicked off with a pale lager by the name of Shandy Murray. I was hoping it was a shandy, just to cool my jets and all that shit. But it was very tasty, and I really had to resist the urge just to neck it in one to refresh myself. And that was 4.25. Next up, Renaissance West Coast IPA from Sheep and Wolves Clothing. An absolute kicker of a malty smell to it. Like, get off the train at Haymarket in the winter, if you know, you know. It's also a cool, bitter aftertaste that makes you actually think about it. And it was a sensible review for this one because Matty was watching me type it, drink at the same time. Not gonna lie, I really liked it there. I may camp out in the grit bin next time I visit. Mythiopia Midwest Pale Ale from Sheep and Wolves Clothing tastes like danger ice cream, and I'm staying on halves for my own and your safety during that trip. 5 out of 5. So apparently at the Sheep and Wolves Clothing's tap room, I'm really having trouble saying that today. Clothing is optional. That's the name of the beer. It was a hazy IPA, It's just as cheeky as its name. Looks like 3-year-old milk and is a bit tasty. So I am in. Cracking selection on tap here. Get your arse down and yeah, check it out. An AI looking half pint with Brewtown's IPA El Juicy. It's certainly juicy and smells a bit like a bunch of daffodils. Tastes quite strong after some sensible ABVs that afternoon, but it was still rather tasty. Oh, this beer was an absolute minger of a pour out a can into a warm plastic cup. Minger of a pour, belter of a beer. Ice Princeton, I think that's what it's called. Hazy IPA. Cracking. Another corker from the lads. Look at the colour on the Instagram page. How he managed to make Lumberjill IPA taste brown is anyone's guess. Basically, get your arses to the tap room and try all these beers out. And that was a 4.5. Finally made it home from Dunblane, and I was chilling like a villain after my day out. And oddly enough, swearing at my Mac because it's so fucking slow. So I didn't do a fancy pick for Asvex's double IPA liquid sours. Rest easy knowing that it's up to the usual high standards though, and that was a 4.5. And that, my lovely friends, is the end of this month's slow descent into beer-fueled chaos, questionable opinions, and niche rage about things that absolutely don't matter but still keep me up at night. Massive thanks as always if you made it this far, whether you're listening on your commute, on a walk, or just lying in bed regretting everything. I appreciate you guys. A couple of quick things before I disappear back into the digital ether. I had the absolute pleasure, and I do mean pleasure, of introducing a recent episode of the Ale and Audio podcast. It's proper good stuff. Think pub chat with actual insights instead of my usual fast-cut gobshite energy. Go give it a listen if you haven't already, preferably with a pint in your hand and your phone on Do Not Disturb, so you're not interrupted by anyone trying to make plans to go outside. I'll be back next month with more episodes, more rants, more wildly niche nonsense about beer culture, and probably another fringe comedian shout out because apparently that's what I do now. Until then, stay hydrated, stay cynical, and for the love of hops, stop describing everything as juicy unless you're holding a Capri Sun. Cheery bye.